Welcome to Morning Journal, session number 398. I am your host, Jared. I guess I'm gonna keep saying my name a few times. Thanks so much for joining us for this session of Morning Journal. Today's conversation is going to be looking at time and attention. But before we get into that, I want to offer a space for us to express some gratitude. Um, there are a lot of things that we may take for granted that are a part of our lives. They just become a part of the background hum of our reality. So it's useful from time to time to acknowledge some of those things, big or small, that we are grateful for. And I would also go a step further and say to acknowledge gratitude in words is important. It's an important first step. But as we consider gratitude this time, think about ways that we express our gratitude. Does gratitude exist beyond words for you in relation to the things that you are acknowledging you are grateful for? Is appreciation is often expressed through actions. So we are showing our gratitude through appreciation. If there's something that you're grateful for, really, as you are engaging with that thing, if you're grateful for a pen, for whatever reason, a pen is coming to my mind. But sometimes someone gives you something, or you have a pen that really writes well. It's like, man, this is like the perfect pen. I'm grateful for this thing right here. And as I use it, I'm acknowledging and appreciating the way that it's so perfectly serving its purpose. So, yes, we want to express gratitude through words, but also let's think about how we can express gratitude and appreciation through action, really embodying that feeling of gratitude when we encounter that thing that we say we are grateful for. A lot of times we'll say, okay, I'm grateful for my family. And yes, of course. And sometimes you might say the words, yes, I'm grateful for my family. Or you might tell them, I'm grateful for you. And those words are valuable, and they can be the beginning of, they can cap off moments that we remember. Sometimes we remember the words that people say to us in a certain moment for years and years and years. But there's also actions that we can take to express that gratitude and appreciation. And a lot of times we feel things and we don't know how to put those feelings or to express those feelings in actions that another person can receive. Everyone has a different way of understanding. We've talked about communication before and language. Everybody has a different way of understanding and processing what it is that you're trying to convey to them. So it could be that there are things in your life, there are people in your life that you're grateful for that don't get that. And even when you say it, it doesn't register for them. So we have to be creative and be attentive to ways that we can express gratitude, um, ways in which we can express gratitude in a way that it is received by the other person. And sometimes we express gratitude through the care that we take. Sometimes it's just in an enthusiasm that you show up with that conveys that gratitude. There's something different about a thank you that's just a cursory throwaway thank you out of politeness, and a thank you or an expression of gratitude that is accompanied by the body language and clear, um, and it's sort of the clear communication with your smile and the energy that you have that lets the person know that, yes, I am thankful for that. I am grateful for that. And, that's a beautiful transfer of positive energy that you can give to another person through that expression. So, response from live chat, from the live chat. I'm grateful for friends. I try to be present when I can and show up and to show my appreciation, feed them, give them a hug, show them affection as a way to express beyond words that you are grateful. Uh, you amplify the positive benefits of gratitude by going beyond the words. So that's the challenge for today. So let's get into our conversation. Got a couple prompts to talk a little bit about time and attention. I think that's probably a recurring theme because it's always, it's something that I constantly grapple with, and transparently, the things that I'm grappling with are the things that I come here to talk about. So we're gonna take a look at our relationship with time and the deployment of or the use of our attention with these prompts today. So to get us started along those lines, let's take a look at the first prompt. What is one thing that deserves more of my time and attention? One thing that deserves more of my time and attention. Sometimes it's very easy to get priorities thrown completely out of whack, and we recognize things that are being neglected that deserve more of us. So you can approach this prompt, and whatever the first thing that comes to mind, the most obvious first thing that comes to mind that has been neglected, you can call that forward and think about, okay, so this deserves more of my time. This matters to me and it's not getting enough of my time. Um, and then as you think more deeply, you realize that, hey, maybe there are a lot of things. So you have to do the work of prioritizing or thinking through of the many things that seem to be neglected right now, which is the most deserving at this moment, given where I am, given the goals that I have right now, given the time of life that I'm in, given the urgency of the things that are around me and the importance of the things around me, weighing those. If you could pick one to get started with, which would it be? So we have a response from T Mizzle. The one thing that deserves more of my time and attention is my body. So we have to move through the world in a vehicle. We have to move through. Um, we can't do anything. Well, there are a lot of things that we want to do that we require the assistance of our physical state of wellness and fitness to facilitate. So, taking care of your body, there are a lot of ways to do that. And with taking care of your body, sometimes uh, it's a time requirement. A lot of times, taking care of your body is sort of a matter of discipline because maybe the time is available, but the choices that you're making in terms of what you're eating might be lacking. So Warrior says, the one thing that deserves more of my time and attention is mental health. Severely so. So you're working on that. So recognizing that, hey, I need to focus more on being more mentally healthy, coping with the difficult things that I need to work through. So that's a great realization. A realization that, yeah, I need to spend some time and attention on my mental health. There are a lot of different ways to approach that as well. But step one is setting aside the time. So recognizing that we need to do that and focus on that. And from there, you can get a plan or strategy. T Mizzle, going back to working on your body, just really just need a workout schedule, need some structure. One of the prompts that I auditioned as I was thinking about including in this conversation was where can I restore order? A lot of times we lose time and we are distracted because there is so much disorder in our environment or in our lives. So we can't really change the movement of time. The time just does what it does. The clock ticks, the sun moves across the sky, the calendar flips. That's all time. And we don't control any of that. Where we where we might be able to make some headway is in restoring some order in the way that we approach time. So getting a schedule together and having a structure in place can change our relationship with time. It takes some of the energy that we spend trying to figure out what to do, and the time we waste trying to decide. It it um, it consolidates those decisions in advance, so you don't have to think about that anymore. So getting some structure around that is a great idea. We've identified things that deserve more time and attention. So to follow on with that is the next prompt. Where can I rescue some time? So I recognize that I need to devote more, something deserves more time and attention. Right now, all of your hours are being used somehow, even if it's watching TV or scrolling on Instagram or working. There's time that you are at work and you're not available, or at school, and like that time is accounted for. Every hour is accounted for by something, whether it's a productive thing or something that you would classify as a waste. Is still occupied. So if you consider the way that your time is currently occupied, where might you be able to rescue some time to devote to the thing that you feel like is lacking, or to the thing that you feel like is a better priority use of that time? Where can I rescue some time? So there might be some obvious answers, uh, but but I think it's important when you look at some of the ways that it seems like you're wasting time. You have to take into consideration the job that that distraction is doing for you, and you have to figure out, okay, I can say I'm not going to do this thing anymore, but there's a reason why I'm doing it. There is something that I'm getting from it that, for whatever reason, I feel is necessary. Um, so we might have to think about, before we take that time back, we have to decide, where am I going to, how am I going to feel the need that that thing is feeling right now? Because I think we have to acknowledge that whatever we're doing it for a reason that in the moment is taking care of something that we feel like we need in the moment. You know. So as we reorganize, as we shift things around, thinking about ways that we are using our time. I know a lot of times with me, I'll say, well, I got this time in the evening. I can use this time in the evening to do X, Y, Z. But in reality, maybe my mind state is maybe that time is not conducive to the thing that I am trying to do. All hours aren't created equally in terms of where you're at, whether it's physically, you may be emotionally drained. So to try to do this thing that you are calling important during those times, it may not be a great idea. Maybe it's not going to get you where you need to go. So consider that. Where can you rescue some time? So for T Mizzle, so maybe less reading. Maybe less reading. And the time that you spend reading is generally high energy time. You're present for it. Maybe that is a thing where you can reallocate. Maybe I'm trying to take in too much information. Maybe I can moderate that and shift the resources to the time I'm spending developing my mind to time I spend developing my body. So Mez says I could rescue some time by not arguing as much. Yeah, that's a drain on time and energy. If you are constantly engaged in conflict, yeah, I mean, it's important to sharpen your thinking around things by engaging in a dialogue around it. But, I guess pick your battles so you can save a little time by letting people stay where they are on some things every now and then. Naturally, we're passionate about something that we choose to go back and forth, or maybe we're just a combative personality. Either way, um, but if we really care, we have to take care of ourselves in a different way so that we can actually have the impact that we seek to have. So that is sort of the arc of our conversation today. We started thinking about, well, first, I think we took the gratitude prompt in a different way that might be worth revisiting. Thinking about, we can acknowledge the things with words that we're grateful for. Let's think about how we are expressing that gratitude through our actions, through our countenance, through the way that we are showing up. If we're grateful for the thing, how beyond words are we expressing that gratitude? So we started there. And then we started looking at our time and attention. What deserves more of your time and attention? And how can you rescue some of that time and attention? You can attention is something that depletes over the course of a day as well. So sometimes the issue isn't that you don't have the time. The issue is you are drained and you don't have the ability to focus on or devote the best of your energy and towards that thing that matters. So maybe the hours are there, but you're burnt. So managing both resources, time and attention, pointing them in a direction of towards something that matters, that's important to you. I think that about covers it. Thanks so much, folks, for joining us for this session. If you're here live, we're Monday through Friday. I think that we're probably going to start on Substack next week. So it'll be Instagram and Substack. Still figuring out the best way to make that happen. And I like the idea of being on Substack because I feel like maybe there are fewer distractions in the app. So, if you are sometimes if you are already on Instagram and you see it's live, there's a whole lot of stuff that might be a little bit more stimulating. You might be coming out of the rabbit hole onto the stream, and it might not. It takes some time to kind of get in the right frame of mind to start engaging with ideas like this. I think Substack might be a better platform in terms of coming on and being kind of locked in and ready to think about things that we're talking about. So I'm going to try to start going over there so it'll be an option. I'll still be coming out live here for the time being, just for the sake of people stumbling in who didn't know it was going on, etc. But I think that's the plan. All right. So thanks again. Session 398 is in the books. I look forward to seeing you again next time.